Welcome to another Procreate tutorial where today we're going to go ahead and create this bubble text effect. Now as always, there's a link to the canvas size and the palette in the description down below which you can grab, and in the requirements you'll also find the free font that I found for today's design. Now if you've never installed fonts before, trust me, it takes 30 seconds, and I've also added a link to a video I made on how you can install them. Honestly, it's a breeze, it'll only take you 30 seconds. Check out that helpful video in the description down below if you've never installed fonts before. If you like today's tutorial, drop a like down below, and if you want to get access to over 70 exclusive tutorials, you can come and join me over on Patreon where I add 3 more every single month. You'll be able to see the latest 3 right now. So with all that said, enjoy the tutorial and let's get started. So once you've created your canvas, the first thing we'll do is we'll go up to our layers and we'll change our background color, and we'll change it to the middle color in the first column. We're then going to go up to our colors and we're going to grab the blue in the top left. Let's then go ahead and add in our text. So we're going to go up to our actions and we're going to go to the option of add text. Now we can go ahead and type in whatever you want here, but the first thing we'll do is of course is grab the font. So if we double tap on the text, we'll get this little sub menu pop up. If we tap on the weight here that says regular, for example, we can then go ahead and scroll through here and find today's font. And once you've downloaded that and installed it, it'll be here in this list and you can tap on it to select it. We can then go ahead, and while we've got the text selected, so make sure you've got it all highlighted there, which I do, you can then go ahead and hit this option down here, which is going to capitalize everything. And then if we go back to our little keyboard here, we can then type in the word. You can type in whatever you like. I'm going to type the word bubble. And again, I may need to tap on the text, go back to the sub menu and hit this checkbox here. Then we can go ahead and go to our cursor and we can scale this up in size. If you scale up a layer that's got text on it, it stays nice and crispy. So I'm going to go ahead and make the text around about this sort of scale and in the center of our design. If you want to get that orange line that lets you know you're in the center of your design, just make sure you go to snapping and turn that on. So with our text in the center of our canvas, we then need to go ahead and create 3 different versions of this that are gradually smaller or larger depending on which way you think about it. So this layer here, we're going to swipe it to the left and duplicate it, and swipe it to the left and duplicate it. The top one, we're just going to simply tap on that layer and go to the option of rasterize. That one for a moment is now going to be changed from text to a normal layer, and we're going to come back to that in a moment. And the bottom layer, we're going to go ahead and tap on that layer, edit the text. We're going to double tap to select all of the text, and we're going to go up to our color. We're going to double tap in the top left to select white. Now visually you won't see any change at the minute, but if we go ahead and double tap on the text, we've got the sub menu again. We're going to tap on the weight again to get the full suite of options, and we're going to tap on this option here. This is the outline. It adds an outline to the text and removes the inside. So if we tap on that option there and hit done and zoom in, you can now see we've got a perfect outline around our text, and that's the bottom layer. But when you add an outline, it adds half to the outside and half to the inside. And we want to go ahead and cut the inside away from the very top layer. So if I go ahead, for example, and grab the top layer, tap on it, and I'll just invert it. You don't need to do this. It's just so you can visually see it, but you do need to follow from now. If we tap on the outline layer to the bottom one out of the 3, tap on it and use the option of select. It's important that color fill is grayed out and turned off. Make sure yours is that. We've selected the outline, and as you might just about be able to see, you can see that there's half of it inside the text. If we then go ahead and go up to the top layer that I made red for you, if I tap on it and use the option of clear, I've now cleared that outline perfectly from the top layer. So now we've technically got 3 different variations of the layer. We've got the red one at the top, which is the smallest. We've then got the middle layer, which is the blue one. And then we've got the bottom layer, which is the largest, which is the outline layer. And this is going to help us create that really cool effect with the text. So if I go to my layers and I tap on the top one and invert it back to blue, we can now go ahead and add a lovely little gradient to this. So if we create a new layer above it and tap on it and clipping mask it in, we can then go ahead and change the blend mode. If we change it from normal by tapping on the N, scroll down to overlay. Make sure your color is set to white by double tapping in the top left to select it. Your brush needs to be set to the soft brush. If I zoom out just a tiny bit, I'm going to go ahead and go from left to right at the top, left to right, getting really light towards the middle of the text and quite heavy towards the top. Just add in a lovely little bit of lighting at the top. I can blend that down a little bit. If I then go to my colors and double tap at the bottom of the disc to select black, I can do the same but from the bottom this time. and just add in a really cool gradient effect to the text. And what this also does is it helps that middle layer, the smallest one, now stand out, and you can see all the outlines. Let's then go ahead and add in some lighting effects. It's really easy to do. We've got black selected, so we'll do the shadows first. If we go to our layers, we'll create a new layer, tap on it and clipping mask it into the stack. We'll go ahead and we will tap on the text that the two layers are clipped to, this one here, the rasterized one, tap on it and use the option of select. We've now selected that text shape, but I want to select everything but the text, so I'm going to go to the option of invert, go up to the layer and go to the empty one at the top, tap on it and use the option of fill. Once you fill it, it will then see on the thumbnail that it's all filled in with black. If we change the blend mode from normal, we change it to the option of soft light, and then we grab our cursor. If we drag this up to the top left just a tiny bit, you'll then perfectly introduce a shadow by tapping on the cursor, then when you're done, to the bottom right edge of everything. Look how cool that looks. But rather than link up all these corners, we're just going to blur them out. So if we go ahead and go up to our adjustments, we go to the option of motion blur, and we drag from the bottom left a little bit up towards the top right. You only have to do it a little bit because we're going to go up to 10% there. So drag bottom left to top right, and we only need to go up to about 10%, just like so, and tap on our adjustments when we're done. To use a perfect example, when you get into this corner here, it then just blends out because we added that little bit of motion blur. How awesome does that look? Now, we actually need to go to the layer, swipe it to the left and duplicate it. I really want to punch out those shadows. And we can reuse this layer to also create some highlights. So if we swipe it to the left again, the top one, tap on it and use the option of invert, which will flick it from black to white. And if we then go ahead and go to our cursor and we drag down from the bottom right down into the text, you'll slowly see your little highlight appear on the inside edge of the text. And if I tap on my cursor when I'm done, we have a shadow on one edge, we have a highlight on the other edge. And if we want to punch them out, make them a bit more bold, we can go to the layer, swipe it to the left and duplicate it either twice or otherwise 3 times, just to make it nice and bright. And your text now has this really cool 3D effect. But we can actually make this stand off of the background even more with a drop shadow. So if we go to our layers, the middle bubble text here that I've got, so we've got the one that everything's clipped to, you can now leave that, but the middle one here, the one underneath it, tap on it and also rasterize it, and swipe it to the left and duplicate it. Then drag that layer down underneath the other text layer, so the outline white layer. Tap on it and alpha lock it for a moment. Tap on it and fill it. Then tap on it and turn off the alpha lock. Then we can go ahead and go to our cursor using the uniform option. Just to make sure it stays in scale, we can drag it down towards the bottom right. Just a little bit like so. And then go to your adjustments, Gaussian blur, and swipe from left to right. We can blur this out as much or as little as you like. I'm going to go up to about 10%. And then we're going to go up to the layer. We're going to swipe it to the left and duplicate it. The bottom one out the two, tap on it and invert it to white. Then grab your cursor and again drag that one now down towards the bottom right. This is going to be like a bit of a highlight reverb. Now what we need to go ahead and do, once you've moved it down towards the bottom right, so you've got this text, then shadow, then white layer, we then need to go ahead and cut the black layer from the white one. Really easy. Tap on the black one, tap on it and use the option of select, selecting that shape. Then go to the white layer, tap on it and use the option of clear. You'll see it has now disappeared from the thumbnail. And now both of these layers can be adjusted. We can change the white one from normal, change it to overlay, lower the opacity down to 50%. And then we can go to the black one above, tap on that and also change it from normal to overlay. And bring that one down to about 40%. Now your text has this awesome little shadow underneath and a little bit of sort of extra lighting as well. Now you can actually change the color of each letter as well, which is what we're now going to do and is the final step. If we go to our layers, we have to add the color we want to change to both of these layers here. So we've got the one that everything's clipped to. I'm going to leave the B as blue, so I'm going to go to the U and make that yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and be on this layer here that everything's clipped to. If I go to my colors and grab the yellow, I can drag that into that shape there and it changes the color like so. But we also need to drag it so we can get rid of the blue outline and change it into a yellow outline. So we go to our layers and go down a layer. We drag the color in and there we go. And then just repeat that all the way across. So I'm going to go to my colors. I'm going to go to orange this time. I don't need to change my layer just yet. I'll do it on this one first. So I've got the orange. I'll fill in the outline. I'll go to my layers and go upper layer. I'll tap away and drag in the orange. We can then go ahead and stay on this layer by going to our colors and going to the pink. We can then go ahead and drag that into the B. And then again, make sure we go down to the other layer, drag the color into there too, so it does the outline. We can then go to our colors and go to the green, drag that into the outline. Then go to our layer above, and we can drag green into there. And let's do the final one as well. We'll go to the purple, and we'll drag it into the final letter. And making sure we also go down to the outline, drag it into there. We can go ahead and zoom in a little bit. We can go full screen with 4, and we end up with today's finished design. So I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy text-based tutorial. As always, please be sure to share your designs with me over on Instagram by tagging me in your finished creations. You can also come and share them in my Discord with the rest of the community. As always, a massive shout out to all of my patrons who help make these videos possible. If you want to get access to a catalogue of over 70 exclusive tutorials with 3 added every single month, as well as have your name featured in videos, sneak peeks, early access and much more, hit the link in the description down below and come and show your support. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this text effect that you'll see on screen, or you can check out this text effect playlist of all my tutorials that are based around text. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.